channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Christy. So this is a collaboration video that is being hosted by two of my wonderful friends, Anita over at Chit Chat Paddywhack and also Dee at Skinny Jeans for Lifetime. So if you are not familiar with their channels, please go check them out. They have some great content on their channels. I'm going to list their channels as well as all the other participants down in the description box below. So please make sure, go down there, click on each of their channels, go check them out. You're going to get some great information in this video. With the changes WW has made in their programs recently, Dee and Anita thought this would be a great time for us to get together and give some information and some tips for people who are just starting out with WW. So this is basically our top 5 tips for new WW members. But it can also not just be for new members, it can be for other members. Some of us may be trying to revamp or maybe been in a rut and we want to try and get back at it. So this would be a great opportunity if you're already doing WW for you to kind of listen, get different ideas from people. So if you're new to my channel, I would like to introduce myself quickly. Like I said, my name is Christy. I am 48 years old. I am a wife, a mother, a grandma to a little boy who is almost 1 year old. My husband and I are high school sweethearts. We've been together since we were 15. We have a son who is 27, who's the father of my grandson, and also a 23-year-old daughter. My Weight Watchers journey goes way back, and in 2003, 2004, I was very successful. I lost 93 pounds, became a lifetime member, met my goal weight, all that stuff. And then, unfortunately, over the years, I was unable to keep it off. I don't feel like I really learned the program back then. It was kind of just, I just wanted to lose weight. It wasn't about long-term in my mind. I just get this weight off quick, and then I'm done and can move on. But that's not how it goes. So I recommitted this year in the end of January. My husband and I both did it. We do WW online. And I'm down 52 pounds and he's down 59. He's actually at his goal weight, so he's kind of trying to toy around with it right now to see how much he can eat to maintain. I have a ways to go still. So that is it. That's me in a nutshell. So I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel. I do a lot of things. I primarily focus on planning and meal prepping, but I do a lot of other things. So please make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload new content. And also, if you're new, make sure you put in the comments whose channel you're coming here from. I do like to hear whose channel you're coming from so that I can thank them. All right, so let's start with the top 5 tips for new WW members, or like I said, members who are already not new but just want to revamp. So I'm going to start with number 5 and work my way to number 1. So number 5 on my list is go through the 0-point food list, whether you're doing green, purple, or blue, and determine what foods that you like and you don't like. And the reason being is, my suggestion is don't eat something just because it's 0 points or just because they claim that it's good for you. If you are eating things you don't like, you are going to look at this as a diet. So you want to find the foods that you know you're going to be able to eat for the rest of your life. For example, quinoa, sweet potatoes. Everybody knows quinoa is good for you. Everybody knows sweet potatoes are good for you. Personally, I don't like them. I don't like the taste of them, never have. I've tried to get myself to like them because I know they're healthy for you, but I don't care for them. And so if I'm forcing myself to eat something like that, then I'm going to get, it's going to get old and I'm not going to enjoy it anymore. So always find foods that you like, that you love, and build your meals around those foods. Remember, this is a lifestyle. This is not a diet. So you definitely want to find the foods that you love and also the foods that will sustain you. Also, the opposite goes true. If there are snacks or things that you really enjoy, don't give those up. Find out what the point value is of them. And if they're not crazy, like, 20 points, if it's a snack that's maybe 5 or 6 points that a lot of us would think, oh, that's a lot of points to spend on a snack, save your points for it and make sure that you're not depriving yourself. Because if you deprive yourself, then that is when you get that mentality that you are on a diet and you can't have something. There is really nothing off limits for the most part. Some things are really crazy, like Olive Garden chicken fettuccine Alfredo is like 59 points. So that kind of is, although you could use your weeklies. So that's number 5. Just find the foods that you love and don't eat things that you don't. Okay, so number 4 on my list is don't expect the weight to come off overnight. You did not gain this overnight. It's not going to come off overnight. Try not to look at this and think, and I know for me personally, I've done it. I will sit there, I will be in the shower and I'll be thinking, okay, if I lose this much weight, then I can weigh this by this month and this by this month. You guys know you do this. We all, I think any of us who has had any type of weight problem has always done that. We've always tried to figure out the quickest way to lose this weight. We want to get it off and we want to get it off fast. And if it doesn't come off fast, then, oh, it's not working. That's not true. So the bottom line is we have to start loving when we lose 0.2. Not only 0.2, I only lost. We hear that all the time. I only lost 0.2. You lost 0.2 of a pound. So just keep in mind that it's not going to necessarily come fast, especially if you are somebody like my age where you're going through some changes. I went through menopause actually early. I'm still in my 40s, but I'm already through it. But I went through a lot and it was very hard for me to lose weight. And so especially when you have hormonal changes going on like that, things are going to slow down. So just don't give up. Just keep on going on. Don't expect that it's going to be a race. Remember, this is long term. You don't want to just look at this. This is a lifestyle. This is for the rest of your life. So don't expect that weight to come off overnight. Keep in mind that 1 pound a week is 52 pounds a year. So even half a pound a week is still 26 pounds a year. So if you look at it in that big picture, then those only 2.2 doesn't seem so only anymore. So keep that in mind. Okay, number 3, don't dwell on the number on the scale. Keep in mind that your body is changing. You have water going on in your body. You have muscle going on in your body. Now, I will say I'm not one of those people who says that muscle weighs more than fat, because it doesn't. 1 pound of muscle is 1 pound of fat. A pound is a pound no matter what you're weighing. The difference is when you have 1 pound of muscle, it is condensed, is basically the way I say it. I know that's not the right word. If you have 1 pound of fat, it's a lot more. So that is the difference. When you have somebody who has 100 pounds of muscle on them, they're going to look leaner. 100 pounds of fat is going to be bigger. So just keep that in mind. A pound is a pound. So your body is constantly changing. And so every week you have things going on with the scale. You're going to have fluctuations going on, whether it be water weight. For those of you who still get, that time of the month, you're going to have fluctuations then. So don't dwell on that number. I know some of us, myself included, weigh daily. I am a daily weigher. Honestly, I used to be worse. Before, when I did Weight Watchers the first time, I would weigh myself morning, noon, and night. I was obsessed with the number. All I cared about was getting that weight off. And then in my mind, once I had the weight off, then it was over. And that's not how it works. But I weigh myself because I like to see my fluctuations that my body does. My normal fluctuations, it helps me so that the days that I do get on the scale on my weigh-in day, I do weigh in every Thursday morning. Even though I do WW online and I don't go to meetings, I always weigh on Thursday mornings, about 7 o'clock Thursday morning. Keep it the same all the time. So when I get on and I may at that moment have a gain, I know from the week that my body is fluctuating. And I see, it can literally go up and down, 2 pounds, whatever, throughout the week. But just don't focus on that scale. Don't focus on the number. Focus on your non-scale victories, your NSVs. You're going to hear that word a lot. Non-scale victories. I'm telling you right now, I just started where I can cross my legs again. And you guys, I'm crossing my legs so much at work and so hard that my legs are getting numb. When I uncross them and stand up, I can barely walk because they're numb. But I just haven't been able to cross my legs in so long, and now I can. Shaving my armpits, I'm starting to get the pit again. When you gain weight, you don't have that sunken pit. So little things like that are non-scale victories that people that have never had a weight problem will never even understand. So just keep yourself attuned to those things that are happening in your body. Number 2, tracking. Please make sure you track everything you eat. You're going to hear the term BLT. Your bites, your licks, and your tastes. You want to make sure that you're tracking everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get to the point where you're complacent. I've done it myself. I get to that point where I kind of, I meal prep. So I know how many points my meals are. But when I'm snacking, when I'm, if I don't weigh out my snacks, my pretzels or things like that, I start eating them out of the bag. I can, in my mind, say, oh, I think I probably just had about 10, but really I probably had about 20. So just don't get complacent. Make sure that you're constantly tracking. And another thing, WW does not say that you have to track and, they don't say that you have to track and weigh your 0-point foods, but I would highly suggest that you do. And the reason being is that it helps you if you start having, some issues where you're not losing. You can kind of go back and you can really look at what you did and you have everything tracked and measured. So I still measure. I do WW Blue, which is basically the freestyle program. I stayed with that. It has worked for me, so I stayed with it. But I still weigh out and I still track, like my chicken breast. I usually have a 6-ounce piece of chicken breast. So the 0-point foods are not free foods. I always refer to them as 0-point foods. I don't refer to them free because in my mind, if something's free, then it doesn't cost anything. 0-point foods can cost you a gain. If you eat too many of them, you will gain. It's still down to the basics of science of calories in and calories out. So what I do with 0-point foods is I say that it's 0 points at a normal portion. So if I'm going to have a 6-ounce piece of chicken breast, I'm going to count it as 0 points. If I'm going to sit down and I'm going to eat a pound of chicken breast, then you better believe I'm going to probably count that as a couple points, because in my mind, that is not what was intended from WW. It wasn't intended to do that. Now, with vegetables, you can get away with having a lot of vegetables. Fruits is another thing. Be very careful. If you eat 5 bananas, I'm pretty sure you're probably going to gain. So fruits I'd be careful with. And then, I still track. I clock it in my tracker. So just make sure that you're tracking all your foods. And number 1 is, the name of my channel is Planning Us Healthy. Planning. Planning is my number 1 tip. So a lot of you, if you know me, you were probably expecting meal prepping to be on this. So here's why I didn't include meal prepping as a tip. You can't get to the point of meal prep without meal planning. So you really have to plan your days. You have to put yourself first and plan your days. So when I say planning, I don't necessarily just mean food. I mean planning for you, planning time for yourself, putting yourself as a priority and planning your life. Whether it be you're meditating, you're exercising, you're eating, plan for those things. So every day, every night before you go to bed, plan for your next day. So for those of us who work outside the home, a lot of times at night, what do? We sit there thinking about the things we got to do at work. I have to do this. I got to do this. I've got this meeting here. I've got that meeting there. I've got to get my report in for this. I've got to do that. So we plan our day for work. But so many times we don't plan our day for ourselves. We put everything else before ourselves. So let's put ourselves first and let's plan for our future. Let's plan for our lives. And so let's plan by sitting down at nighttime and planning the next day. We're going to plan what we're going to have for breakfast, plan what we have for lunch, plan what we have for dinner. It's not going to always go that way. Things are going to happen that are going to get in the way of life, and that is just normal. But if you plan for it, then it's just gonna make it a lot easier. 9 times out of 10, when we plan for something, we follow through. So if we write things down in our journal, we usually follow through with it. The other thing of planning is plan for vacations. Plan for, if you are one that can get right back on track, plan for a gain. When I go on my little mini vacations, I plan for a gain. I'm gonna allow myself to have a 3-pound gain, and I have my fun. I don't go crazy overboard, but I am gonna plan for that event. I'm gonna allow myself to just go enjoy. I'm not gonna dwell on everything, but when I get back, I'm gonna get right back on track. Now also keep in mind, sometimes when you plan, things happen. We all have busy lives. Things happen in our life. Something might come up. We weren't able to have what we were going to have for lunch. We had ended up going out for lunch and we got off track. And now, oh my gosh, everything's blown. No, it's not. We just have to get back on track. Don't dwell on what happened. Don't dwell on overeating. Just get back on track. There's no such thing as throwing it all away. Just because you ate bad At lunchtime, does that mean, oh, I blew it, I might as well just eat bad at dinner too? No, just get right back on track. At dinner, do real well. You can still recover. Sometimes your body likes that little jolt, and sometimes that little mess up you had at lunch may be just the little boost your body needed. And now you get right back on track, and it thinks, oh, okay, she's good. Let's go ahead and lose some weight. You never know. So don't ruin the whole rest of the day just because you had that little blurb and because what you planned didn't go as planned. So planning is my absolute #1 tip. So those are my top 5 tips for new WW members. So I hope that this was helpful. You're going to get a lot of great tips, I'm sure, from all the other channels that are participating in this collaboration video. I can't wait to watch them myself. So I want to thank Anita over at Chit Chat Paddywhack and Dee at Skinny Jeans for Lifetime for including me in this collaboration. Again, I'm going to list their channels as well as all the other channels. I'm going to list them down below, so make sure you go check them out. Let them know I sent you. And if you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing here. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you in my next video. I'm Christy, and I'm planning us healthy.